All right, today we are going to work on doing some problem solving for different word problems. I'm going to read you a word problem. Ashley has 4 less crayons than Brooke. Brooke has 3 more than Scott. Scott has 8 crayons. How many crayons does Ashley have? Now, you looked at this a few minutes ago and you said it's easy. The answer is
24.
So, okay, we're gonna check that out. But sometimes solving word problems, is that a good way to do it? Just guessing and checking and guessing and checking and seeing how you come up with it? Is that one way to solve a problem?
Yeah, one way.
That's a good, yep. Because now you say 24 and we're gonna check it. Because that's definitely one way we can see if an answer is right. So, we're gonna do a little demonstration. So, well, we'll start with that one if you want. We'll start with drawing. Okay, so Ashley has 4 less crayons than Brooke.
Has 3 more than Scott, and Scott has 8. So 8.
How many crayons does Ashley have?
So it would be 8 plus 3 is 11.
So you're starting with Scott then, right?
It's Brooke and Scott.
Okay. Because it says, what does it say?
3 more than
Scott
Scott has, and Scott has 8. So that would equal 11.
Okay.
And then Ashley has 4 less crayons than Brooke. Brooke has 11.
So then what?
4 minus 11 equals 7.
Okay. What's maybe if we took 4 away from?
Oh, I can't do 4 minus 11.
Yeah.
I was gonna
But
say.
I think you kind of got the gist.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be 11 minus 4.
7. Okay. So we think Ashley has 7 crayons. And what did you say first?
24 because I thought it was going to be 3
Yeah.
times 8.
So some things, when we do solving word problems, there are a few things. We want to make sure we read the problem thoroughly, because sometimes these words like less and more than and total, it might indicate that we're doing a few different things. We're going to add, we're going to subtract, we're going to do a couple different things. Okay? So what we did, you took you started at the back, which is great. That's another way. Because initially you guessed and checked. We guessed, we checked, we thought it was a different answer. And then you started from the back. You started with Scott, who at the end of the problem has 8 crayons. And you said, okay, let's start with Scott. Then we have Brooke. Then we work to Ashley, and that's how we get it. So we're going to do this again. And I'm going to see if you can get the answer, but we're going to change the numbers. Let's see if you can. It'll be kind of a trick one for you. Okay, so this time, Ashley has 5 less crayons than Brooke. Brooke has 8 more than Scott, and Scott has 11 crayons. How many crayons is Ashley?
Scott has 11 crayons. Brooke has 8 more. So that would be.
So let's write Scott's first. How many does
8 plus 11 equals 19. And then, so that is Brooke. And then 11 is Scott. And then we have Ashley has 5 less crayons than Brooke.
Mhm.
So it would be 5 minus 19 equals 14. And that is Ashley.
So again, you kind of worked backwards,
Mhm.
which is sometimes we look at these problems and we get like, oh, crazy, and think, this is going to be so hard. I don't know how to do this. But if you kind of break it off into chunks, it's not so overwhelming, right?
Mhm.
Kind of break it down, figure it out. We're going to try it one more time. This time, I want you to try that subtraction in the right order. Okay. Okay. So,
Ashley has 2 less crayons than Brooke.
Brooke has 8 more than Scott, and Scott has 7 crayons. How many crayons does Ashley have? Now, instead of working backwards, can you draw a little die, like maybe draw a stick person to represent how many Scott has? Like maybe tally marks to represent how many crayons. Those are easy, and they're straight like a crayon. Okay, there's Ashley. Because sometimes you can work backwards, but sometimes you can draw a little diagram too with different types of word problems. And then you can keep track that way. So who are we going to start with?
Ashley.
Okay.
2 less. Okay, so Ashley has 2 less. So you're going to draw a -2. And then Brooke has 8 more, so it'll be +8. And then Scott will have 7. And Brooke will have an 8 plus 7 to equal 15. And then, so Scott has 7. Brooke has 15, and 15. 2 minus 15 equals 13.
Mm-hmm. So, let's say we started with Scott and we're going to do tally marks because it says Scott has 7 crayons. 5, 6, 7. So Scott has 7 crayons. These are crayons. And Brooke has 8 more than Scott. So what could we do?
We could add 8.
Okay. So now we have how many total?
15.
15. 5, 10, 15.
And then Ashley has to -2
Okay.
away. So it'll be 1.
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
So now how many is that?
13.
13. So, what are some ways that we did these? We problem solved these, kind of these brain thinker ones. Some different strategies we tried today.
You could go start from the back,
Mm-hmm.
break it into chunks so you're not all doing it at once.
Yeah. What was the very first one you tried? Before I even turned this on, you said, "Oh, I know the answer. It's this."
Multiplication.
And that you did. Yep, you multiplied it, but we guessed, and then we checked. And that's okay to do that with these because we're going to find out eventually if it's right or wrong. But you can guess and you can estimate, and we'll dig into it and dive into it and see if it's right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then another way to practice these. If we get these done and you're ahead of some classmates and I'm helping other classmates, what else can I do? You can make up your own problems. You think you could do that sometime?
Yeah.
Think of maybe hockey pucks or I have footballs or library books. And you can kind of use people's names and fill in your numbers yourself too. And do these with friends. All right.